Hello, everyone. This is Mr. E with Steve's Mobile Shoe Shine Service coming at you again. Listen, I got a special guest here sitting here with me here in the bus. We're going to do a one-on-one interview about the book. I'm excited. He's a great friend of mine. Had a pleasure of meeting him a couple years ago and not knowing who he was and his status, but it was a pleasure, and I think it was a gift from God for me to really meet him and to really have a little communication and with him and do some business with shoes. But I am excited. But listen, like I told you before, I want to have different people that's coming in, interviewing with me one on one about the book because I want to get their take on it. I want to get what they takeaways from it, and what I want to really show the audience is that I want people to know that it doesn't make a difference what your background is, what your occupation is, how old you are. It doesn't matter that this book somebody can get something out of it to help them find their purpose and path. But right now, first I want to say, Mr. Hayes, thank you for being able to, do this one-on-one with you. I really honor you for just allowing me to have a few minutes of you to really give me your feedback on the book, The Gift Behind the Shine. But for people that don't know you, just give them a little bit about your history, what your occupation, what you're doing right now, and just kind of know like what are you all about.
Well, Mystery, it's my pleasure. I mean, I encountered you when I was driving down Southfield one day, and I'm in traffic, and I see this van with this mobile shoe shine service, and I thought, what a brilliant idea! So I remember I called you right then and there because your number was on the side of the van, and I called you right then and there and said, congratulations on a great idea. And I told you to come by my house, which you did, and you've been by several times, and several of my friends have also taken advantage of your wonderful services.
Mm-hmm.
So it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. I thoroughly enjoyed your book. My background, I'm from New York City. I was born and raised in New York City, and I spent most of my life in the magazine publishing world. I worked for Sports Illustrated for a long, long time, then Money Magazine, then Discover Magazine, and finally I was publisher of Fortune. All those magazines in the same company, Time Incorporated. I love the magazine world. I love the world of journalism. I love the the world of hard factual information. And then from there, I got very much involved in the subject of public education reform.
Okay.
And I started my own organization called the New American Revolution, which, and the carefully crafted sentence there was to rally the American business community to lead the nation in a massive recommitment to our kids. Because I think America needs that desperately. Our kids need that desperately. And from there, I merged that organization into Junior Achievement. I became the CEO of Junior Achievement for 6 years. And then I've done various things since then. I started a World Theater Festival in Colorado Springs.
Mm.
I ran an organization that produced apparel for golfers. I've done a whole bunch of things. I've had a very interesting life, and most recently, I was the founder of what is called the Detroit Homecoming, which brought expats back from people who had been born and raised in Detroit, but educated in Detroit, but moved elsewhere for their careers. I brought them back in an effort to reconnect them with their hometown. Had a lot of help on this. Crane's Publishing, Crane's Communication helped enormously with this. But over the course of now 12 years, we've had 12 homecomings, and the expat community has been amazingly generous and with their hometown. And homecoming has raised well over $1 billion in the last 12 years. So that's really put. I still do some writing, and that's about it. My life's very full and very interesting, and I've had a wonderful time.
Well, Mr. Hayes, listen, it sounds like you have had a wonderful life. You had different experience and different jobs and different things you've been. And what I hear is that you are a person that loves to help. And I think we need more people in America to really just reach out and just help other people succeed. And that's one thing about the book is that I wrote it so people can help them find their purpose and path.
Hmm.
So, but so tell me, what was your takeaways from the book when you read it? First of all, I guess when I called you and said, "Hey, Mr. Hayes, I wrote a book. I want to know if you would like to read it," and you would say, "Sure," and it's always a pleasure for me because I never wrote a book, so this is my first one. So to really have somebody to read it and give me feedback, it really helps me because I wrote it with the inspiration of God really dealing with me in the midst of writing it. So I'm glad that I'm able to share it and people get something out of it. And then, like I said, give me a feedback. So what I want to know is like, what was your takeaway from reading the book? And first of all, was it an easy read?
Yeah, it was a very easy read. It's written in a very accessible way. It's a very easy read. But I think the principal takeaway was um, I learned more about a deeply spiritual man who found who found extraordinary joy, to include spiritual joy, in the work that he did. And to me, that is incredibly important. First of all, it's very important to enjoy the work you do, whatever it might be. But in your case, to find the level of spirituality in the work that you did was really quite remarkable. And that was probably I knew a lot about you. We
Yeah.
talked,
Mhm.
and that probably was the principal takeaway, that somebody, a man, had found enormous, not just joy, but spirituality in everything that they did and all the work that they did. And that's highly unusual. I mean, it's one thing to love your work, and a lot of people love their work. I love my work. But to find that kind of spirituality in your work is really unique and rare. And that's probably my principal takeaway.
It was amazing. I was thinking about when I started writing the book, and I have to give it up to my wife because when I started, she was like, "Just write." I'm like, "All right, just write," because I think when you're writing a book and you don't really know like where to start and what to do, it's hard. You can't just. I mean, you need help to
Hmm.
really to navigate through it because it's
Hmm.
not just easy. Everybody can probably write, but
Hmm.
to format it in a way that it grasps the audience attention is where you're really
Hmm.
trying to do. And you want to make sure that you not having it too long, that they got to be yarning like the book is too long. So one of the things I think I was really striving for when writing this book was, first, one, to please God, and then second, to really help people find their purpose and path.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I think that's why it was important for me to, I guess, write it. But to even get other people to read it and give me their insights was really big for me because we can write something and think it's the best.
Right, right,
But
right.
when you get somebody else's opinion that
Hmm.
read it,
Hmm.
now you really can see into it because everybody's going to get something different out the book. And I
Hmm.
think that's where I'm
Hmm.
really striving for with the book to say, you know, everybody's going to find something in the book that they can relate to, that they can
Hmm.
actually apply the principles in the
Hmm.
book. One of the things I was wondering, like some of the principles I had about shining shoes and how do it applies to everyday life. Did you find anything in there that you can kind of look at what you do today, that on some of the tips that I wrote in, that about shining shoes, how
Hmm.
it applies to everyday life?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, there are so many menial tasks that we just take for granted, that we just kind of go through our lives. But in your case, you stopped and you really analyzed each of those tasks, and you gave them great meaning, great spirituality, and you found great spirituality in it, and that's uniquely wonderful. It really is.
Yeah, it's I think when you got a balance in your life, and sometimes I tell people everybody has a story. Everybody has
Right,
a
right,
story.
right, right.
It's just that I was blessed enough to put it in books, but
Yeah.
I think when you look at somebody, you look at where they at,
Hmm.
but you don't know their history.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you really don't know them.
Right.
But once you find out their history, then you can see the way why they act the way they do, or the way they treat people the way they do because of they value they experiences that they had coming up.
Correct.
And that was my thing. It's like my experience coming up, and I ended up with having a passion for something I love to do. I love talking to people. And it's not like a job, it's my ministry. So for God to really help me write this book and incorporate what I do, it was like a win-win, And I think that's what, like, my whole thing about the book, that's the reason I want people to really get it. It's called The Gift Behind the Shine. You can get it on Amazon today. Just type in the word The Gift Behind the Shine and order your book today, and I'm gonna have different people coming in, sitting down, just to talk, because I want to give the audience a feel of that, if no matter how old you are or what background or what occupation you have, there's something in this book that you can relate to and help you on your journey. And that's what I'm really doing, but I'm glad that, you found something in it. It just kind of let me know that, okay, this book was purpose, not by me, but by God. So, and that's my biggest thing though. So what would you say to the people out there about this book, and why should they purchase the book?
Well, I think God is to be found in every aspect of life. And I don't think we stop and think about that often enough. But you do. And your book is all about that. And so if you can help people find a level of spirituality in their everyday work, that's an enormous gift that you give to people. And I think that's core to the book. That's, as I read the book, that's what I kept coming back to. This man has found God and spirituality and everything he does, and that's the way it's supposed to be.
It's something, Mr. Hayes, how you said, like, when you find what you like to do. I tell people like this: if you're doing something, a work, and you got so much excitement with it when you're working at it, and you probably not, that might be your lane. That might be your path that you need to go. Yeah. And I tell people what you can really find about if you are in a gift that's as a gift made for you is that you would do that for free.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely right. Absolutely. And these kids that are coming along, and some kids know exactly what they want to do from the time they're very young, and they follow that dream, that focus for the rest of their lives. A lot of kids come along and have no idea what they're going to do. And my what I say to those kids is, you got to keep looking for it. You got to keep searching for it. You can't just accept something because it's convenient or it pays a lot of money. You got to really find out what you love. And once you find out what you love, you don't have to. I mean, when I worked for Time Incorporated for 35 years, and there was a big reception when I left, and I said at that point, I said, you didn't have to pay me. And there's something in me, and I really meant that, but I didn't say it till the day I was leaving.
Yeah, he's like,
but no, I enjoyed it so much. I was so honored to be doing this kind of work that I obviously they had to pay me, but but a part of me said you didn't have to pay me. Yeah. But your point is well taken. If you find that path, that track that you truly love, you do it for the love of it. You don't do it for the money.
And Mr. It's funny because you said that is because some people work 30 years and never find their path.
That is exactly right. That's exactly
and right. If you think about it, like, wow, I wasted 30 years. Not say I wasted, but I didn't get the full benefit of working.
Right.
Because I didn't find my joy every time I went to work.
Right.
And I think that's what it comes down to, is that if you can find the joy in what you do, it's easy. It's like you looking forward to come there the next day to sit back and do your job because you found purpose in what you do.
Confucius say, he who loves his work never works another day.
So, but it's right, and a few people never find they.
I know. Many people never find it. Many people.
But when you do find it, though, it's it's such a blessing because now it's like I can do it, and like I said, I could do it for free.
Correct.
But
right.
I'm glad they paid me for it, but I would do it for free because I love it that much.
Right.
And that's the reason why I'm stressing. That's the reason why I'm doing all these one-on-one interviews. Audience, is that to show you that in the book gives you some of those tools that can help you find your purpose. And everybody's looking for a purpose. God didn't put us on this earth for just be here. Everybody has a lane. Everybody has a purpose.
Right.
It's just finding it. And some of the events that you experience coming up through life is leading you to your path. And sometimes it doesn't make sense because you're like, why am I doing all this? Or why am I going through all this in my life coming up? But there's always a reason and a purpose. You just got to continue down that path and don't always question why I got to do this. Just follow it to it ends. And when you end up right where your purpose is supposed to be at in that road, So, but I'm glad that, I'm able to share and put it in words and then give people a little piece of my history, because you might look at me where I'm at now, but you don't know my story. But this gives you a little insight of where it all begins. So now it helps people understand who I am or who Mr. Ear is. So I think that's important though. So, but Mr. Hayes, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
It's been a joy getting to know you, Mr. E. It really has. And thank you for the book. Thank you for who you are. It's wonderful.
Thank you so much. So listen, stay tuned. Tune in. We're doing some more interviews with different people, but this one was one of my special guests. I was glad that he accepted and he wanted to do an interview with me. But listen, get your book today. And listen, when you get your book, let me know. And if you want to do a one-on-one interview, listen, I would love to drive the bus to you, sit down, we can have a conversation sitting right in that chair right there, and tell me, and we can talk about, what did you get out the book? Tell me your highlights about it. And we can learn a little bit about each other. So listen, go on Amazon today. It's The Gift Behind the Shine. So type in The Gift Behind the Shine and get your copy today. And then just reach out to my website, MrEShoeshine.com. That's Mr. E Shoes at yahoo.com. That's my email address. And MrEShoeshine.com is my website. So MrEShoeshine.com website. MREShoes at yahoo.com is my email address. And listen, thank you for your time. I'm looking to see many, many more in this chair right next to me doing an interview. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.